Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday morning trading room. Hang on here 1 second. We'll get the screen share going. And the market's opening, well, more or less where they left off yesterday. Yesterday, the market plodded higher, but just barely. Today, we're actually opening a little bit lower, but back in that whole 6,600 area, which seemed to be a very influential number yesterday. So we've seen a little bit of a bullish break here pre-market. You can see really on any of the tools, but typically there's a pre-market report about an hour before the open. And you can see today, I haven't looked to see what the report was yet, but it obviously did spark the market a little bit, beginning the day with a very, very good rally. But we're only a couple of minutes into the day. So typically, I like to give the market a chance to settle in before I commit to anything. But on the surface, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more bullish than bearish today. While we're waiting on that, just a reminder that there will be no trading room Thursday or Friday this week. I apologize for the inconvenience. I have a couple very early days and I'm not going to be able to host the room the next couple of mornings. Okay, things flattening out a little bit. A lot of times the market will make a little bit of a reverse off of an early rally. So we'll see if that holds true. All right, getting a little bit of a reverse here. The Hawk already producing a first micro-macro cross lower. The Falcon actually working a trend change signal lower. We are in the hard edge here of the Raptor, or the first Raptor cloud. And it seems we're approaching the hard edge here on the Eagle as well. So I would be a little extra cautious perhaps on the short side right now. It's not to say we won't see the market trail off. I'm thinking a move here to the hard edge, back to 6,600. That very familiar number is entirely possible. I may be more inclined to try a hard edge bounce, however. Hey, way to go, Mark. I didn't even notice the pre-market signal had a late filter entry attached to it. Oh, it did too. Here Here we go, just a minute or two before the market open. Well done. Great little trade there. Yeah, that late filter entry signal. It is a continuation signal. So you would like to see something resembling a trend, but very often it will develop early as well. Here we have something resembling a late filter entry, but the trend line has gone out of sync for a single bar. What happened was probably this bar right here traded a tick too high and it spoiled the trend line. This is a little bit more of a discretionary signal, but if the trend line goes out of sync for just one bar, I will usually ignore it and still consider it a late filter entry signal. But we've traded back here to the median line now. Looks like we're taking a little bit of a bounce off of the median line, and I was going to say that would be close to the hard edge as well. And as a matter of fact, it is at that. So we're very likely going to come back here now with a hard edge bounce. And that's that signal right here. We've already got a continuation signal here on the eagle. Oh dear, they're running away on me. I'm not even getting a chance to show you any of these signals. So here's the eagle signal. And all we would be looking for is a retest here of the high. The market far enough along that I would certainly bring the trade to break even, maybe even protect it rather aggressively in case it tries to back up on me. That's a pretty good test of the extreme. If it fails from here, in other words, does not resume the uptrend, that could make for a pretty interesting selling opportunity. Another late filter entry here to the upside now on the Falcon. And this one's trying to get away on me as well. I'll throw an order in up there. I've noticed of late with the added volatility in the market, I'm really giving it a little bit of extra room on the entry side. Technically in trading, that's called being a chicken. All right, so looks like they're not quite ready for that. Not yet anyway. It does look like it's starting to get a little bit of transition going on, doesn't it? For you Raptor traders, you could do the same thing here with the Falcon. You could just park your order, say here at around 66.16. Look for yet another hard edge bounce. And like I said, I could just leave an order in play. Are they going to stay? Are they going to stay here on the resistance from the trend line, or are they going to reverse and head lower? Okay, well, it looks like they're going to do maybe an early cloud crossover here. The Falcon, okay, we've got a few things already setting up here for a possible short. Okay. All right, here now on the Raptor, we're going to get the #1 signal. That's the cloud crossover. It's a little bit late. I'm a little bit late to this here on the Raptor. You can see that by the time I got to it, the Falcon trend change signal had already printed, as had the first micro macro cross here on the Hawk. But we should see the market try to recover. Let's see, where can we go from here? 65, 68. That seems plausible. If I can ride out this first little pullback, as the market tries to get back to the hard edge. My #1 signal, by the way, actually didn't print. I took the signal in anticipation of a #1 signal, but you see I just had the warning dot, the signal actually not printing. So I may be finding myself in here a little bit earlier than I should be. No, they're going to tag me out. Stinkers. Just when you thought the market was breaking down. The better stop placement, by the way, so far it looks like this one's holding, but the better stop placement is actually just above here, above 66.16. Now, I don't recommend moving your stops in the middle of a trade, but this resistance area, this is where the decline began from. So if the sellers lose their grip, that's where you really know you're on the wrong side of this trade. Now, finally, the #1 signal. So there's a shorting opportunity right here. Well, Anthony's a little bit more bullish today. Anthony's looking at 66.93. Well, that's a very ambitious target. Just kind of stuck. The Hawk really neutral right now. Okay, the Raptor coming back with a #3 signal. Anthony says all my targets get hit one way or the other. Yeah, I have targets like that too. They eventually get hit. Not always when I want them to, but Okay, another late filter entry signal building here on the Falcon. Oh, not yet. Got spoiled by the little uptick there. All right, so here now, the late filter entry building here on the Falcon. You're actually getting another first micro macro cross in the Hawk as well. So a few things looking a little bit better for the trade as we try to get down to the low of the morning. So it looks like there's some buying going on here. They're flinching as we get close to the 65.92, 65.90 area. Let's see, yeah, 65, 68. That might be asking a little bit too much right now, but I would think for sure the low of the morning is within reach. You would think. All right, here come the sellers again. I wonder, do I dare? Do I dare try to stretch this out a little bit? Maybe, okay, I won't be too aggressive. I'll look halfways between the median line and the primary support line. That'll be my profit objective, just to try to sneak a couple extra dollars out of this. I've moved my break even near the low of the morning, which is 65.86 half. Wow, they are not wanting to give it up. Okay, it's probably time to bring my stops in a little. This is pretty much the last chance for the sellers to knock the market down. If they fail at this point, we're probably going to see a little bit of a rally. trying. So we're getting another number one signal to short, but I've mentioned this before. You've got to take the context of your chart into account, and right now your clouds are twisted up like a rope, so the context is very, very sideways. Yeah, I agree with Mark's statement. He says a rather wide sideways trading range developing. Which way is it going to go? That's the $64 question. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Let's see what else we have going on here. Oh yeah, it's a bit of an ugly mess here at the moment. The danger with a market like this in relation to your stops is that the market may trickle through by a tick or two only to tag you out and head the other way. So you want to make sure your stops aren't overly tight. I know it's uncomfortable having wide stops, but you need to be comfortable with the risk amount. If you're not comfortable with the risk amount, don't take the trade. Wait for another trade to develop. Oh, is that what it is? Ryman says we got FOMC meeting this afternoon. Let me check. Oh dear. And right you are. Reports calendar. So crude inventories coming up in about a half an hour, but here's the one that's putting the nicks in the wrinkle, as my wife likes to say. The FOMC minutes out this afternoon. So that's going to put a slow grind on the market. Oh dear, are they going to tap me? Yes, they are. Well, that could make for some difficult trading here this morning. We'll see what they do with that. I would be open to another short. I think I got tagged there prematurely, but I'm not too interested until we get toward the bottom end of this trading range at around the 65.90 area. I know that's a huge stretch, but just take a look at what's going on within this trading range. There's nothing going on. So if you wanted, you could set your OCO order. You could short down here. You could look to buy above this last swing. And again, not to crowd the trade too much. There, and you can just wait them out. So get a stop strategy working. And here are the overnight, or pardon me, the highs of the morning so far. So we're getting knocked down a little bit from there. Come on. We'll see if they push through to a new high on the day. That might get some follow through. Yesterday's highs, I think, around 66.60, if I remember right. Okay, this is probably close enough to break even for me that I will roll my stops to break even. And there's a decent amount of profit there if you wanted to try to capitalize on some of that. Of course, I can't help myself sometimes. Getting ready with a more aggressive stop strategy, the bar high low, the most aggressive stop strategy. Parabolic's pretty aggressive as well. Thanks, Ryman. Ryman says 66.23 3/4 was yesterday's close. So let's see what I have as far as resistance lines go. 66.26 half is my next resistance zone, and it's not going to matter because they tagged me at break even. the market really likely to stay in a relatively neutral mode until the minutes are released. And then we could see it kick in a little bit. All right, so what have we got going on now? Another reverse attempt. By the way, we could do another OCO if you wanted. You could short here below this swing. You could buy above there. All an OCO does is it takes into account the fact the market is sideways. You're getting some, we're currently in scalp mode. Hopefully that's coming to an end, but you can definitely see what's been going on here in scalp mode. We've just had some very, very violent swings. In the meantime, however, you're going to see a plethora of signals developing, and that's very common in a sideways market as well. We're actually working a rule of three signal here on the Eagle. A weak uptrend, but we've just had it tested the extreme. Here is the number, even though it's just the second counter trend signal, it is a rule of three. Typically in a rule of three, we get an extra signal through here. So once again, you don't want to be too crazy with your stops, making your stops overly tight. And we'll see, maybe this is the leg that's going to knock the market down a little bit. And I could set a profit order near the bottom end of the trading range. Make sure you select the right order. It's always annoying when you pick the wrong order. Okay, we're at break even now, and maybe I should try to work this one a little bit lower still. If I get a break, where is my next support zone? So 65.86, the low of the morning, 65.68 would be a very ambitious target if I don't get tagged at break even again. What did I say the low of the morning was? 68? Oh, it doesn't matter. I got tagged at break even again. Well, that was a pretty good bear attempt. And now we're kind of drifting sideways again. So it's almost looking like we're just going to get this constant back and forth here this morning. All right, so we're stuck. I'm tempted to do another OCO order, you know that? Maybe this time I'll do it on the Raptor. And, well, I could look to buy above here. I think that's, buy. And maybe I'll give it a couple of ticks. And shorting, well, I guess it makes sense to short below that low right there. It is an odd little range that we're looking at right now. Maybe that's a little bit too much room. testing the top end. I'm considering bringing in my my entry here, but I don't want to play this range too tight. You can see we're just bouncing back and forth, back and forth. I'm fairly confident that a breakout above the high will see the market go higher. I'm not so concerned about that, but rather I don't want to get too aggressive on the short side, at least not yet. All right, let's try it to the upside now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my stop back a little bit. It's just a little bit too tight right here. The ideal stop right down here, actually, where I was looking to enter the other way. So below that 65.92 zone. And this is, you know, in a sideways market, it is a little bit risky, but we'll see here what kind of follow through we get, if we get a follow through. Okay, getting a number 3 signal now to follow up after the number 1 and the number 2. So maybe a little bit more of a bullish flavor to the market. I hope. Okay, hit the break even. Do I want the break even already? I got tagged twice at break even. Maybe I'll just give it one more swing. Come on, get up there. Okay, this is it. Come on, buyers. There we go. There we go. All right. Now I can bring my stops up, and I'll just manually bring them here to break even. So I've seen the buyers recommit. If they fail here at the highs again, well, then I may as well take my break even stop out. If they get through here, where's my next stop? Up here. And this time, I think I will just take the profit if I can get it. That will be a pretty big move given today's trading. Come on. The high of the morning's being a bit of a pain. Wow. The lack of follow through is impressive. Yeah, like Mark says, or depressive. It's all in your perspective. No, doggone it. Can't catch a break here today. Well, if I get tagged at break even on this one yet again, I think I may call it a day. At least until after the report is released. Are they going to push through the high of the morning? Oh, look at that. See, this is all you have to do is you have to threaten the market that you're not going to play anymore, and word gets out, and then they give you a little bit of follow through. Come on, get up there. You can do it. Okay, I guess I better get a little bit more aggressive with my stops here. I've got a fair amount of open profit. I should protect at least some of that as the market tries to push through. Oh my gosh, I don't believe it. Wow, that was crazy. Okay, well, hit the primary resistance line eventually, backing off a little bit, but it may continue higher from there. Almost cleared the slate. Not quite back to break even yet, but hey, I'll take it. And it looks like they're going to continue to press a little bit higher still. It might be waiting a little while here on another trade, however. Yeah, Ryman says we've closed the gap, and we certainly have that. Yesterday's high 66.51 3/4. Thanks for that, Ryman. That would be a really serious push higher. Typically, when we hit a resistance area, as we have here, where's the next one? Oh, the next one way up there, 66.55 we typically see a little bit of a reaction somewhere. Like, I don't know if that's going to be enough of a reaction. No, maybe not. Maybe they will just continue higher. Like I said, that's a surefire way to make the market do something. Just say it's going to do the opposite. Well, no, they're not going to give me another chance to get in. So I got out maybe a little bit early, but I can't say I'm terribly disappointed about it. Given the way the market has been behaving. Getting a little bit of a pullback now. I don't know if we're going to get all the way back here to the hard edge or not. That would be a pretty big move. Definitely a little bit more bullish. So in spite of a very, very long sideways period, we're kind of resuming the earlier uptrend. Just took a really long time for them to figure that out. We'll stay with it here a little bit longer. And now we're just kind of moving sideways again. All right. Could be a move back here to the hard edge. A number 2 signal would not surprise me. This is a little bit of a test of the extreme. It didn't print as such. We'll see whether we produce a number 2 signal here. That would be a counter trend. All right, a little bit bigger test of the extreme. And now we're finally getting a soft edge sell signal. I don't know if I want to try that. It's probably going to retrace back here to the median or the primary resistance line, 66.26 half. So, you know, it's feasible. All right, well, here we don't have much else going on, so let us demonstrate. No, they're not going to follow through. All right, folks, it looks like the market's just in a dead sideways grind in anticipation of the FOMC minutes. So I think we should just call it a day. Any other signals that are going to develop until the minutes are released, they're going to be pretty hit and miss, I think. So let's button up shop here for the day. A reminder, no trading room Thursday or Friday. I am out of town, and I will see you again on Monday. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.